When you move on, the narcissist does this. Listen up, there's something you need to understand right now. When you finally break free from a toxic, manipulative, energy-draining narcissist, when you reclaim your life, your mind, and your power, they don't just disappear into the background. Oh no, they react. And I need you to know exactly what they do so you don't fall for the trap. You see, narcissists survive by controlling others. They feed off your emotions, your pain, and your attention. Good or bad, it doesn't matter. As long as they have a piece of you, they feel powerful. But the moment you cut them off, when you decide enough is enough, they panic. Here's what happens when you move on. They try to guilt trip you. They'll suddenly act like the victim. How could you do this to me after everything I did for you? Don't fall for it. This is a game. It's manipulation wrapped in fake concern. They don't miss you. They miss the control. They love bomb you again. Out of nowhere, they become your biggest fan. Apologies, promises, I've changed. It's a lie. It's a trick to pull you back in. Stay strong. You left for a reason. They smear your name. They can't control you anymore, so what do? They try to control how others see you. Lies, rumors, half-truths. Let them talk. People who matter will see the truth. They try to replace you fast. Suddenly they have a new soulmate, someone they show off, hoping you'll feel jealous or regretful. Don't take the bait. That's not love. That's a performance. They act like they don't care. Silence, indifference, as if you never mattered. But behind the scenes, they're watching. They're checking if you're really moving on. The best response? Live your best life. They reappear when you're doing well. The moment you start thriving, boom, they show up. A text, hey, just checking in. Why? Because your growth threatens their ego. Stay focused. Keep moving forward. They will never give you real closure. And that's okay, you don't need it. Closure doesn't come from them, it comes from you. The decision to walk away, to heal, to build a life that's yours, that's the only closure you'll ever need. So what do? You rise, you rebuild, you step into your power and refuse to be a puppet in someone else's show. Your past does not define you. Your pain does not define you. Your decisions, your actions, and your mindset, that defines you. So let them do whatever they're going to do. Let them play their games. You've got bigger things ahead. You're stepping into your power. And when you do that, nothing, not even a narcissist, can stop you. Narcissists don't miss you, they miss controlling you. Let's get something straight right now. When you walk away from a narcissist, you might think they're sitting in their room, missing you, longing for you, feeling the loss. But that's not how it works. See, narcissists don't experience love the way you do. They don't value connection the way you do. What they truly miss isn't you. It's the control they had over you. They miss the way they could dictate your emotions. They miss the way they could push a button and watch you react. They miss how they could manipulate you into believing their lies, into second-guessing yourself, into feeling like they were the center of your world. That's what they miss. The power, the dominance, the control. They don't sit there reminiscing about your kindness, your loyalty, or the beautiful moments you shared. No, they sit there thinking about how they lost their grip on you. And that, my friend, is what drives them crazy. Because the moment you reclaim your power, they lose theirs. So they start strategizing. They start looking for ways to pull you back in. Maybe they act like they don't care, just to see if you'll chase them. Maybe they post something online designed to trigger you, make you wonder if they've already moved on. They test you because they need to know, are you still under their spell? And this is where most people get trapped. They mistake this reaction for love. They think if they're reacting this way, maybe they really did care. No, they didn't. They cared about what they could get from you. They cared about how they could manipulate you. They cared about the attention you gave them. You have to reframe the way you see this. Their panic isn't proof of love. It's proof that they lost control. Their frustration isn't proof that they valued you. It's proof that they can't use you anymore. And that's what really eats them up inside. They will do whatever it takes to reestablish that control. They might suddenly be sweet. They might send you a long message about how much they miss you. They might even apologize, telling you they finally see the error of their ways, but it's all manipulation. Because if they truly cared, they would have changed when they had you. If they truly valued you, they wouldn't have treated you like an object to be controlled in the first place. And deep down, you already know this. So here's what you do. You hold your ground. You recognize the difference between missing a person and missing power. You understand that a narcissist version of love is possession, not connection. And you refuse to fall for the same trap twice. Your freedom, your peace, your happiness, that's what they fear the most. Because when you don't need them, they are nothing. When you no longer react, they lose their grip. When you move on, they become powerless. And that's why you win. Because the moment you reclaim your energy, the moment you stop feeding their ego, the moment you choose yourself, they no longer have any power over you. So don't be fooled by their desperation. Don't mistake their panic for love. See it for what it is. A last-ditch effort to pull you back into the cycle. And make the decision right now that you are done being controlled. Their love bombing is a trap. Don't fall for it. The moment they realize you're slipping away, the game changes. Suddenly, they're everything you ever wanted them to be. They're kind, attentive, apologetic. They say all the right things, do all the right things, and act like the person you fell for in the first place. And for a moment, it's tempting. You think, maybe they've changed. Maybe they finally see your worth. Maybe all that pain, all those mind games, all that emotional turmoil was just a phase. And now, finally, they're ready to love you the way you deserve. So, right there. This isn't change. This isn't growth. This is strategy. This is a carefully calculated move to pull you right back in. Because a narcissist doesn't lose. A narcissist doesn't accept rejection. They can't stand the idea that you might actually be free from them. So they put on the performance of a lifetime. They tell you everything you ever wanted to hear. They shower you with affection, gifts, apologies, whatever it takes to break down your walls. And the moment you believe them, the moment you let them back in, the mask drops. Because it was never real. It was never about love. It was always about control. Think about it. If they could be this amazing now, why weren't they before? If they truly loved you, why did it take you walking away for them to show it? Because this isn't love, it's desperation. It's the fear of losing their supply. And here's the worst part. If you go back, they will punish you for leaving. They won't just go back to who they were before. They'll make sure you regret ever thinking you could escape them. The next time, the manipulation will be deeper, the gaslighting will be stronger, and the cycle will be even harder to break. So what do? You see through the illusion. You recognize love bombing for what it is, a trap. You remind yourself that real love doesn't suddenly appear when someone is afraid of losing you. Real love is consistent. Real love is safe. Real love doesn't need to manipulate. And when they come back with their sweet words and fake apologies, you don't engage, you don't argue, you don't explain yourself. Because they don't want closure, they want control. And the only way you win is by refusing to play the game. Smear campaigns mean nothing. Let your actions speak louder. The moment a narcissist realizes they can't control you anymore, they shift their strategy. If they can't manipulate you directly, they'll manipulate how others see you. This is when the smear campaign begins. Suddenly you're the villain, you're the problem, you're the one who changed, the one who overreacted, the one who was never really there for them. They spin the story, twisting the truth, painting themselves as the victim, and you as the cruel, heartless one who abandoned them. And here's the worst part. You'll feel the urge to defend yourself. You'll want to tell your side of the story. You'll want to prove to everyone that they're lying, that you're not the person they're making you out to be. But that's exactly what they want. Because the moment you react, you're still in their game. The moment you try to explain yourself, they've won. Why? Because it keeps you emotionally involved. It keeps you focused on them instead of healing. A narcissist doesn't care about the truth. They care about perception. They don't need people to believe them forever. They just need to create enough doubt, enough confusion, enough drama to keep you emotionally trapped in their world. So what do? You stop playing. You let them talk. You let them spread their lies. And you don't waste a single ounce of your energy trying to correct them. Because here's the truth. People who matter will see the truth over time. The people who blindly believe the narcissist's lies, they were never truly in your corner to begin with. The best way to destroy a smear campaign is to live well, to heal, to thrive, to let your actions, your energy, your peace prove exactly who you are. Because over time, the narcissist mask will slip, they'll contradict themselves, they'll move on to their next victim. And the people who once doubted you will start to see the truth. But by then, you won't even care because you'll be too busy building a life that has nothing to do with them. So let them talk, let them spin their story. You have nothing to prove. The truth doesn't need defending, it just needs time. And time is on your side. New love is a show, don't take the bait. You finally break free. You start healing, regaining your confidence, moving toward a life of peace and happiness. Then, out of nowhere, you see it, the narcissist has already moved on. Not just moved on, but parading their new relationship like it's the love story of the century. They post about it, they flaunt it, they make sure you see it. Why? Because this isn't love, it's a performance. The narcissist doesn't move on emotionally, they move on strategically. They need a new source of supply, someone fresh to manipulate, someone to boost their ego, someone to control. But most of all, they need to prove something to you, to themselves, to the world. They want you to think, wow, maybe I was the problem. They want you to feel regret. They want you to question whether they really were capable of love all along. Don't fall for it. This is nothing more than a game, a carefully crafted illusion designed to hurt you, to provoke a reaction, to make you doubt your decision to leave. Because here's the truth. The person they're with now, they're just the next victim. They're being love bombed, just like you once were. They're being fed the same lies, the same future faking, the same false promises of forever. And soon, the cycle will repeat. The mask will slip. The emotional abuse will begin again. And that new person will find themselves exactly where you were. Confused, hurt, and wondering how someone who seemed so perfect could turn so cruel. Your job? To detach, to see their new relationship for what it really is, a distraction, a cover-up, a ploy. To remind yourself that you escaped something toxic, and no amount of fake social media posts or grand displays of affection can change that. So let them put on their show. Let them post their pictures, tell their lies, pretend they found the one, because at the end of the day, you know the truth, and that truth will set you free. Your best revenge is a thriving, happy life. Listen to me. The narcissist wants one thing. They want to know that they still affect you. They don't care if it's love or hate, longing or anger, regret or revenge. As long as your emotions are still tied to them, they win. They don't need you to want them back. They just need to know you're watching. They need to believe that even in their absence, they still hold power over your emotions. That's their fuel. That's their victory. So what do? You take that power back. You shift the focus from them to you. Because the one thing a narcissist cannot stand, the one thing they fear more than anything else is your indifference. When they see you moving forward, when they realize their absence hasn't broken you, when they hear that you're smiling again, that's when they truly lose. Not because you got revenge, not because you proved them wrong, but because you no longer care. See, narcissists thrive on chaos. They expect you to lash out, to stalk their social media, to post cryptic messages about betrayal. They want you to engage, because the moment you engage, they know you're still emotionally hooked. But when you don't react, when you don't play the game, when you disappear from their world completely and start building a life so good that they no longer even exist in your thoughts, that's when you win. And let me be clear, this isn't about pretending. This isn't about forcing happiness just to prove a point. This is about genuinely healing, genuinely thriving, genuinely becoming so focused on your own goals, dreams, and joy that their name doesn't even cross your mind. Because true revenge isn't about proving anything to them. It's about proving to yourself that you were always whole without them. So go after your dreams. Take care of your body, your mind, your soul. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, support you, and remind you of your worth. Create a life so rich, so fulfilling, so joyful that even if the narcissist came crawling back, you wouldn't even be tempted to let them in. Because the greatest revenge, the most powerful comeback, the most satisfying victory isn't in making them jealous. It's in making yourself so happy, so at peace, so free that their existence no longer matters. They'll pop up when you're doing well. Ignore them. You've been doing the work. You've been healing, rebuilding, and stepping into your power. You're finally starting to feel like yourself again. Maybe you've picked up new hobbies, made new friends, or even found a new love. You're thriving. And then, out of nowhere, there they are. A text, a missed call, a random social media like. Maybe they bump into you in public, or they suddenly act like they're just checking in. It's not a coincidence, it's a test. See, narcissists have a radar for when their former victims are moving on. They can feel when you're no longer emotionally tied to them, and that terrifies them. Because as long as you're hurting, as long as you're still in the cycle, they still have power. But the moment you start truly letting go, the moment you no longer react, that's when they panic. That's when they show up again. And they'll disguise it well. Maybe they'll act casual, like they just want to see how you've been. Maybe they'll pretend they've changed, that they've been doing a lot of thinking. Maybe they'll even try to remind you of the good times, hoping nostalgia will make you forget the pain they caused. It's all a trap. They don't miss you. They miss knowing they can still pull you back in. They don't regret losing you. They regret losing their control over you. And this is the ultimate test. Because if you respond, if you engage, even just a little, they see it as an open door. It tells them there's still a chance. And that's all they need to start weaving their way back in. So what do? Nothing. You don't respond. You don't acknowledge them. You keep moving forward as if they don't exist. Because the moment you ignore them is the moment you take back your final piece of power. They may try harder. They may send more messages, try different angles, even use mutual friends to get to you. But if you hold your ground, if you refuse to take the bait, eventually they'll give up. Because a narcissist cannot stand being ignored. They can't handle being powerless. And when they realize that you've truly moved on, that nothing they say or do can affect you anymore, that's when you win. So let them pop up. Let them try. Let them wonder why their old tricks don't work anymore. And then keep thriving. Because your future is too valuable to let a narcissist from your past drag you back. Your freedom is their worst nightmare. Embrace it. There's one thing a narcissist fears more than anything else: a strong, healed, independent version of you. Because as long as you were under their control, as long as you doubted yourself, as long as you were stuck in their cycle, they felt powerful. They fed off your insecurity, your second guessing, your need for validation. But the moment you wake up, the moment you realize that you never needed them, not for love, not for approval, not for anything, that's when their entire illusion crumbles. See, a narcissist thrives on keeping you small. They need you to believe that you're not strong enough to walk away, not worthy enough to be loved the right way, not capable enough to stand on your own. But you are. And the minute you step into that truth, the minute you reclaim your power, the minute you stop seeking their validation and start validating yourself, you become untouchable. Because they can't control someone who doesn't need them. They can't manipulate someone who trusts themselves. They can't break someone who is already whole. And that, my friend, is what true freedom looks like. It's waking up every morning knowing that you are in control of your own happiness. It's making choices that serve your future instead of your past. It's surrounding yourself with people who lift you up instead of tear you down. It's looking in the mirror and finally seeing yourself fully, completely, powerfully, without distortion, without doubt, without fear. That was at the to stop paying and let me tell you something. This is just the beginning, because the life that's ahead of you, the love, the success, the joy, the peace, it's bigger than anything you've ever imagined. And it's yours the moment you decide that your future is worth more than your past. So let them watch, let them wonder, let them sit in the discomfort of knowing that the person they once controlled is now the person they can never touch again. The power is yours now and forever. Listen, you didn't just survive the narcissists, you outgrew them. You saw through their illusions, broke free from their control, and reclaimed your life. And that is no small thing. That is power. Because the truth is, they never had real power over you. They only had the power you gave them through your doubts, your fears, your belief that you weren't enough. But now you know better. Now you see that their greatest fear wasn't losing you. It was losing their ability to manipulate you. And you've taken that power back. They will try, they will test you, they will throw every trick in the book your way, but it won't matter. Because you are no longer the same person who fell for their games. You have stepped into your strength, you have embraced your worth, you have built a life that is no longer dictated by their approval, their validation, or their presence. And that is freedom. So walk forward with confidence. Know that the best is yet to come. Let them do what they do, because none of it affects you anymore. You are untouchable. You are unstoppable. And from this moment forward, your life belongs only to you.